I've got great news. Film has not gone out of style, and you can have that film look today. Thanks so much for watching today. I really appreciate all of the views and the comments and the likes that people have been giving for my videos over the last while. I know I've not been keeping up to date as much as I want to. I've been doing a lot of traveling. You're going to be seeing some of that here shortly. And we've got some more reviews and some great stuff with Graham, talking more about his Canon C70, all coming up. But today I wanted to talk to you about film. In the beginning, everything was shot on film. In fact, I started off my career working at a 1-hour camera shop where I was selling cameras, film, and I was doing the 1-hour photo developing. So kind of dates me a little bit. Most of you people watching maybe have never even shot with a film camera, a 35mm camera. But that's really where it all started. And ever since we got into this digital world, shooting digital media, whether it was on tapes, remember the good old days on mini DV tapes, or shooting on cards like we do now, people have longed for the days of film, or at least they're trying to emulate and copy that look, that film look, because almost all our classic movies have been shot on film, and they still shoot on film today. So how can we get that same film look shooting digitally? Okay, first I have to admit that I don't use the film look all that often, but there have been times when I've really needed it, usually for music videos or some sort of an effect on a documentary, any kind of a scene that just needs that something extra special. So I don't use it a lot, but when I have needed it, there's been different things that I've used. There's been different plugins that I've used to get that film look and that film grain, and they've been fine. But today I'm talking to you about the plugin Dehancer. So full disclosure, Dehancer contacted me. I had not heard of them before. They reached out to me and asked if I would like to try their plugin. And so I've been trying it out for the last week or so, and I really like it. But no money has changed hands. They are not paying me for this review, and they don't get to see your comment on this video at all. So it is my true, honest opinion. So what is Dehancer? Well, I think it's a pretty cool name because really we're always trying to enhance our video. We want it to be as crisp and clear and beautiful as possible. So we're doing everything that we can, whether it's putting filters in front of our lenses to enhance our images, to enhance our videos. And what are you doing when you're kind of taking that step back? You're trying to get that film look. You're trying to grain it up a little bit. You're trying to make those colors maybe oversaturated. You're doing the opposite of enhancing your video. You're dehancing your video, which is, I guess, where they came up with their name, Dehancer. And you can check out their plugin at dehancer.com. They make it for Final Cut Pro. It works well with Premiere Pro and also with DaVinci Resolve. I do most of my stuff in Premiere Pro, so that's what we're trying out today. And I have to say, it's been a pretty easy process getting to learn and use this plugin. So let's dive in and let's take a look at how Dehancer works on Premiere Pro. Here I've got in my timeline, I've got some footage, and you can see that I have the Dehancer plugin on. And I've got it applied to an adjustment layer up here. So if we go up here, you can see right here is where I've got the Dehancer plugin. This is version 1.3. And you can see that there is definitely a film grain. If I turn it off, so you can see this is what the footage looks like without the plugin. So it's still kind of filmic, you know, very soft focus. This is something I shot a few years ago for a documentary, and it's nice and clean. But you know, this is supposed to take place in the 1800s. I know, well before movies, but what if I wanted to give it more of that old look? I want to give it kind of that film grain to make it look as if it was shot on film. Well, simply going in and adding Dehancer Pro to my adjustment layer, or you can apply it right to the clip if you wanted. I'll just turn this back on. But you can see it gives you a lot of grain. So now if I play it back, you can see that film grain. You notice that nice noise. It's kind of weird saying nice noise, but look at the difference. You know, so we're gonna turn it on and off. You can see, so that's the original, and this is the film grain. And right now, you can see over here in my profile, I'm using the Fujichrome. And they've got so much control. You know, in some ways, maybe too much control. You can just apply it and go, but If you are a person who really likes to mess with settings, you really want to dive deep into this plugin, you can. You can control every aspect of this plugin, which is very cool. So right off the top, we have input. What are you inputting? Okay, you can see our source here, we have it set to Rec 709, but we also have Rec 2020, and there's all of these different options. You can even choose your camera if you want to go in and choose the camera that you're recording on, and you can see they've got a ton of options here. Everything from the DJI cameras to the Kinfinity, the Panasonic, the Reds, to the Sonys, the FX6. The one thing that they don't have in here, which Dehancer, if you're watching, I'd love for you to add this, is the Sony FX9, because that's what I shot a lot of my stuff on. That's my main camera. When I've been messing with this, I've been using the FX6 preset on my FX9 footage, and it looks great. It really works well. So very cool if you want to put your camera's profile in and work off of that, but you don't have to. If you want to just go right into a Rec 709, you go back up here to a Rec 709, and there you go. And if we close the input, the next level here is film. What kind of film you like? Because if you've experimented with film or you know anything about film, you know that each film stock has its own look. It has its own way that it handles light, grain, colors. And so you may want to try, if you have a favorite look or a favorite film stock, or you're trying to go for something very specific, you can actually go in here and you can choose which film you like. So you can see we've got Fujichrome, we've got Agfa. I used to sell a lot of Agfa back in the day. Agfa, great film stock. Kodak, you can see we've got Kodak Kodachrome. So for those film diehards who, of course, right now are rolling their eyes and saying that, you know, what are you talking about? You cannot imitate film in digital video. And I know there's some truth to that, but I really like how they've done this, and it does a pretty good job. I used to spend hours and days color correcting film on this big machine for 1 hour print. Of course, that's photography. So I love the fact that they've got all of this. Kodak Ektar, Ektachrome, Eastman Double, Color Plus. There's so many, Ilford, there's so many options here. So right now I have mine set to Fujichrome, and you know, I play this back here, you can see that, that our character looks much more old and grainy. It looks more like it was shot on film back maybe in the 1800s. There's lots of options. If I go back up here, so that's your film, and you can completely control every aspect of this, the push. You can even look at your film developer, your film compression. You've got all that kind of stuff. You can come down here to your print, and you can change it from linear to Cineon film log to, you know, Kodak film print, glossy paper. So many options. Color head, where you can really dive deep and get into your colors, and you can control your film grain. Maybe you don't want as much film grain. Maybe you want more film grain. You know, simply jumping in here and adding that here. I've boosted it up to 12. That looks like it's about as high as it can go. And you can really see how much more film grain is in this image when I boost it up to 12. Bring it back down to 1. That's where it was set at. Your amount, if you want to increase your amount, look at how much grain you really want it. I don't know why you'd want that, but if you did, you know, we can play with all of these specs, and I think that looks terrible. But I'm not telling you to do that, I'm just saying you can, and maybe you want to. What else have we got? We've got bloom. This is always cool. I love playing with the bloom for little extra, little bit extra in here. There's so many controls. Film breath, the gate weave. I know a lot of guys, film guys, would definitely appreciate that. And like I said, they make it for DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, and for Premiere Pro. So my honest opinion, I'm loving this plugin. I think it's a lot of fun. It's not something that I need every day. Most of my work doesn't need that film look, but there are times that I need it. And when I do need it, I want to be able to control it. I want to be able to use it the way I want to use it. And of course, it's a great effect. Overall, it's a great plugin. So go to dehancer.com, I have a link in my description below, and use promo code Chris Atkins to get 10% off your purchase of this really cool plugin. If you like this video, please hit the like button, it really helps. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notifications bell. We have more stuff coming up very soon. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.